So, can you tell us a little bit more about what drew you to the PA profession? Like, how did you first hear about it, and what inspired you to work towards becoming a PA?
I think I actually heard about the PA profession like pretty late in my journey in healthcare, but I can kind of start about like what inspired me to go into healthcare and then how it transitioned into the PA profession. I would say that my inspiration for really being interested in healthcare was kind of like a combination between lived experience as an immigrant as well as like my previous educational background in health sciences and disability studies. So, as an immigrant, I was able to see how navigating the healthcare system can be very challenging. And then also navigating that with my mom, who has a chronic illness, I was really able to understand like, there are barriers in place when people have chronic illnesses, language barriers, and then also just the added difficulty of when you're working with a practitioner, how your healthcare can vary. So, when you're working with someone that has the time to dedicate to you, how that can be so beneficial to your health. And then when you're working with healthcare practitioners that are so overburdened that it can make you feel less supported in the system. And then, so I knew that I had this interest in healthcare from a young age. And so I did my background in health sciences and then a minor in disability studies. And that really showed me how various different social identities can intersect to create unique experiences in healthcare, often amongst like marginalized populations. And so I knew that I wanted to work in healthcare to improve access to care and also provide more specialized care for marginalized populations to help support them because often they're the ones that are, falling through the cracks of our overburdened healthcare system. And then when I learned about the PA profession, it was quite late into my journey. I was looking at a couple of different professions within healthcare, but I came across it on Instagram. And then I think Anne's page was one of the first ones I saw. And after that, I wanted to learn more. So I, shadowed a PA, got to see what that was like. And I found that it was like the perfect profession that fit my interests, which is again, increasing access to care, filling in those gaps within the healthcare system so we're able to better support our patients and different populations within Canada. And then also just providing patients with more face-to-face time with a healthcare provider, which I think is so important to make sure that the care we're providing is actually going to be matching their needs and their lifestyle.
So, were there any other healthcare careers that you were considering apart from PA?
Yeah, so I had actually explored a couple of different fields, as I mentioned. Before this, I was interested in going into med school because that was kind of the only thing I knew within healthcare for a long time. So I did get to, work in a primary care office and kind of learn about that as well. I worked as a physiotherapy receptionist too, so I was able to learn a little bit about physiotherapy. And then my most recent healthcare experience was as an occupational therapy assistant. And so that was also something that for I would say a year and a half, I was really considering as well. I love the OT profession and the creativity that's involved in it. But ultimately, once I was able to learn about the PA profession, I knew that that was like the best fit for me.